In this short one, I'm going to show you how I base my terrain in a nice, quick and easy manner. You're going to need to pick up coconut fibre. You can get this from any good pet store. It's used for rodents and snakes and that sort of thing. And you can just, it's compressed pulp. You just break it apart in your hands like that. And you get this lovely sort of tech fibres and dust and larger bits, which is perfect for basing. Here's some stuff for process out. You can break up by hand. I got an old food blender, and yeah, all perfect, ready to go. This will be enough for hundreds of bases. And you're going to want to pick up superglue or cyanoacrylate, crazy glue, this sort of thing. So you're going to want to pick up a low viscosity, not the lowest, because you can get ones that run on flow like water. And that's no good because there'll be no control. Low viscosity, but not the lowest. The gel-like stuff won't be any good. We're going to pick a low viscosity one because we can sort of pile it onto the base and the material, the coconut fibre, will soak in. Pick yourself up a little coffee stirrer just so you can push the superglue around in place, because that nozzle isn't very precise. So once it's on the base, you can use that to push it around and into the little crevices and nooks and crannies. In terms of safety, there are quite a few considerations here. To explain that properly, let's understand how superglue works. It reacts with moisture. If you were to contact skin on skin, it bonds nearly instantly because it's going to absorb all the moisture out of your skin, crystallize and stick. Now, if you have an inorganic material, so this nitrile glove, I'm going to just put a tiny amount on my finger there, and it does not stick. It's sticky, but it doesn't bond. There is no moisture in that glove. And if you've ever been in a situation where you're trying to stick a miniature together with superglue and it's not working, but it does stick to your hand, which is very frustrating, that is why. Beware of that. The other consideration is this has a low boiling temperature. It's below 100 degrees. I think it's about 80 degrees, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. This means it's going to off gas. It's going to evaporate as you're using it. And if you breathe that in, it goes into your lungs and will set. When you are using this, especially the way we're using it in larger quantities, make sure you're well ventilated and at least have a fan blowing the fumes away from where you are working toward the other part of the room. And they will air cure because there is moisture in the air. So it's not a persistent threat, but it is a very minor risk to inhalation. Now, how we're going to use this, using this one I've done earlier, is we sort of pour the glue on and then pour the basing material on top, and we completely cover it. This may release fumes, a little puff of smoke. It's highly exothermic. It's going to give off a lot of heat. And when that happens, it's going to aerosolize whatever liquid is left of the superglue. And again, breathing that in is dangerous. There seems to be a bit of a myth that it causes a high, like Yoo-hoo glue or poly cement. It doesn't. It won't give you a high or anything else. It is just bad for your health. There is no other benefits, shall we say. So when you're ready, grab your terrain feature and pour superglue in, like so, and then manipulate it with your coffee stirrer. Make sure you get all those nooks and crannies. And now we just pour the basing material on. Now, you do want to leave it to settle for a good 10 seconds or so, because if you pull it away too fast, you get these dark spots. That is where there isn't enough coconut fibre and the superglue is soaking up through. That's where you're going to get that off-gassing I talked about, the little puff of smoke. It'll also absorb into the superglue, and you'll get a nice slope up toward the terrain feature rather than looking flat, which I think takes away a bit of the realism of the miniature. So yeah, that's how you would base. And when you've finished, it'll look something a bit more like that. Okay, we've got all these lovely little fibres sticking out. Because where the superglue's pulled, it's dragged it right up to the base. It looks like the tree's coming out of the ground rather than the tree's been placed on the ground, for lack of better terminology. Yeah, and this will be ready to be painted up and everything blends in nicely. Yeah, so that's how you can use superglue and coconut fibre to do some quick and easy basing. You can use PVA and it will take a lot longer, and I don't think you get as good an effect. But do remember the safety considerations, because this stuff can be dangerous. I'll see you on the next one.